Welcome back, my friends! I'm sure most of you heard of Concord, if only by its terrible reputation. But for those who haven't, or who long already forgotten, in 2016, Blizzard released Overwatch to lots of acclaim. 8 years and millions of dollars and man-hours later, Sony released Firewalk Studios' Concord to lots of nothing. For all of 2 weeks it was out, it peaked at under 700 players, which made actually playing it quite the ordeal as it was primarily a 5v5 hero shooter. I want to say I know why it failed, but I'm just some guy. I don't know any behind the scene numbers and I don't have the education or experience background to say anything. But wild speculation on the internet is fun, so here's my baseless theory.
A game theory!
Even before people re-experienced tired hero shooter gameplay, even before people felt the sluggish controls, people got to see the really boring character designs and the cliche dialogue in their short, in a genre that basically makes all of its money by making heroes that makes you want to play them. The $40 entry surely wasn't going to keep it alive for its entire expected lifespan. So why would you concept, approve, finalize, approve, 3D model, approve, animate, approve, then go live with this? Thankfully, I am my own boss, so I can use their final draft as a first draft as I redesign Concord characters. Please note that I said redesign, not reconceptualize. I've seen some redesigns online that go a little too wild and just make a new character entirely. I'll stick to the concepts provided as well as I can while still making it appealing. Make sure to yell at me in the comments if I go too crazy, okay? Okay. I'll start the meddling with Roka. So Roka has a rocket launcher and uses rocket boots to hover and can do an AoE ground pound. I guess it's most similar to Overwatch's Pharah. Anyways, I guess her design is going for the retro future skin-tight spacesuit look, something like the Nuka Coca girl from Fallout series. While the launcher is clear and apparent, her jetpack is not. But compare the silhouette of Pharah and her big mechanical wing to Roka's person with helmet. On the same note, her boots are really boring. They're just sci-fi-ish boots at a glance, which sucks because that big cartoony stuff is part of her offensive kit. Make them something to look out for. So with these points in mind, here is my Roka.
Ha! We blew them away!
I made her rocket launcher a bit more visually interesting. Visible magazine gives it a bit more form than original's rectangle. I simplified the helmet and added more visual plating of the upper body so it feels more like a unified kit. The retro future skin-tight suit remains, but I added more colors to break up the CE of olive drab. I turned the boots into robot legs so things like landing with AoE force is more visually apparent aspect of her. Oh, and I added a cute little ribbon so the opponents at a distance can better see which way she's floating. Secondary animations like jackets, capes, and ribbons are just cool. I don't care what that hack fraud Edna mode says.
No kicks!
Alright, from heavy fire to heavy armor, we get to Emari. So she's the heavy weapons guy in Fallout power armor. She also has shielding capabilities, not that you'd be able to tell. Her armor makes her own tankiness clear as day, but seems more of a meat shield type than the shield projecting or armor giving type. I don't know what's up with this avocado green and spring green coloring. The red flag was there all along too. These complaints led me to my redesign Emari.
Ooh, makes me wanna dance!
I made Reinhardt in Overwatch 1, so this archetype is near and dear to me. Overall, I went with the miniature mech then powered armor feel. Those 30 anchor points bring to mind something that needs to be towed or flown into battle zone, right? Green makes a lot of sense for military ties, but I went with a bit darker for the main green. I also put more reds and oranges throughout to break it up a bit more. The helmet and minigun are integrated into the armor. Conveniently, this also frees up the other arm. And now I can add in the shield projector. We got the big Deeps, the tank, and now let's get a healer in this party. Right, so nothing about Da screams medic to me. A really boring huge swath of blue. The singlet and weird chest armor don't give me much either. Hell, the design as a whole barely tells me he's a sci-fi character. It's that dire. I guess it's fitting that his design is inoffensive. Like visually fine, it just tells me nothing about him. So let's spruce him up a bit.
Hey, that was pretty cool.
So I kept the blue jacket but gave it a hood to give it a bit of a white mage vibe. I added some yellow details to break up the great blue sea of the original. I elaborated on the chest armor into a medical device. And I put the healing pad mounted to his thigh so it's a bit more visual. I visually broke up his waist and legs as well. He's a big guy, but making that area too indistinct makes him too comedic, I think. I appreciate the choice to give him a gut, so I kept it, but this way it feels more solid than rotund. And finally, I changed up his gun. I admit to being far away from America, so the design probably gives you guys a headache. But when something's in the future, a gun with wood part feels out of place. So I just hit the gun with a sci-fi stick until I liked it. And for the final slot, Bazz. I just don't like this one. It's kind of like some bad Cowboy Bebop OC. I thought she was wearing Ned's press glasses, which might be interesting, but it's just flashy bridge design. The mysterious intestine textures on the massive shoulder pad don't give me sci-fi vibes, and the shiny texture makes me think of cheesy disco club. And I know they were going for the Guardians of Galaxy look for their heroes, but between her and Da, I think they were a little afraid of being too techy. Peter Quill has his mask, boots, and gun, which only serves to make the rest of his outfit feel more down to earth. So for my Bazz,
Just like that.
I just lightly moved some details. I gave her bangs to hide the eyebrows for the cold assassin feel. On that same note, I went with big rimless glasses to keep the eyes hidden. And I followed up on the purple and red pairing from the face by adding in a bunch of purple knives. While some might ask why an assassin would keep their weapons on the outside, she clearly loaded up shortly after seeing the violence was about to be bigger deal than stealth or something. Anyways, I did some sci-fi touch-ups to her shirt and pants, aiming a bit for the running suit to reflect her speed, while keeping the muted colors of the original to let the rest of her details pop more. And that's my take on 4 of the 11 Concord characters. Overall, I wanted to keep their core features while giving more of the casual sci-fi feel that Guardians used. I hope I hit the mark and improved on the originals. Give me a like and leave a comment with your favorite or least favorite redesign. Subscribe and hit the bell so YouTube tells you about my next videos as soon as it drops. And I hope to see you all sometime soon.